traders or myself. It's currently the middle of May, and something I haven't done, and which is something I attribute further lack of discipline to, is go back and review the goals that I wrote at the start of the year in terms of 2023 trading goals. So that's what this video is for. A quick update from me, and part of the biggest reason I'm doing this is because I actually have gone full time now, as of this week, actually. So th- without being too critical of myself, I think taking the leap and being able to orchestrate an environment where I'm able to actually non-stop trade is something that has required a lot of work in itself. And I'm really, really happy I'm here. I'm young. I can give it the best shot possible. So, I mean, and this all plays into this quote here that I sort of found. I think it was in Trading in the Zone or something, one of those books. And the quote just says, I don't want to look, it was like, I don't want to look back on my time trading and wonder what I could have been if I had worked harder. I don't want to carry any regret when I fail. And that carries through my whole life. The biggest thing and the biggest problem that I have in my life is I'm absolutely petrified of regret. So I want to make sure that I embrace the time no matter what, and come out the other side, for better or for worse, that I gave trading the absolute best crack that I could. And so that's exactly what I'm doing here. First week in, to be honest, and touching on what I first started on, the lack of discipline. I sort of had a very good January, March, February faded a bit, and by March I was not doing my daily report cards or reviews or anything like that. Um, and I mean that I think has attributed to me being a lot more wishy-washy on my trades, the outcomes, and actually being able to measure my progress. And if it's frankly, if your P&L or your trading is not measured, it can't be improved. So I just want to go back and conserve capital is sort of that first goal that I had. Being able to develop a database of breakouts and sort of be able to look through and trade in an unlimited environment. This has actually come a long way in itself. I've been able to look at a lot of breakouts occurring and a lot of patterns in the market, and I think just time in the market more than anything has been able to build this self-trust. And by no means is it in an unlimited environment, but if I look back on December, just before I wrote this, if I look back on December last year, it's come a very long way. So that's without being too critical, which I'm sure there'll be a lot of room to do in the next ones, but to be honest, I have built the self-trust a lot more. Just some of those executions and the measuring of how I'm trading and things like that are the parts that are lacking, and the elements of my trading which I think can come a long way still. Number two, generate my income. Being able to sit on my hands when opportunities aren't present. This has been something that I haven't been able to adhere to. I have been trying to sort of bash my head up against the wall when the market, frankly, just isn't going to be in my favor. And I haven't been conducting trade reviews. I haven't been doing my daily report cards, things like that. I have been working on my edge a little bit. Something that I do want to look at more. Increase my account size. It's frankly, it hasn't. It's increased from January, but it's not on a steady trajectory or anything like that at the moment. So that's something I also want to work on. And then this self-improvement is something I'm going to be tripling down on into this period of time where I'm full-time trading. So yeah, only absolutely put in the work, give it my all, and be able to. When I was back half of last year, when I was actually religiously doing my report cards, religiously measuring my P&L, I was seeing really good progress. Not at the time, but if I go back and look in hindsight, I was very much cognizant of every move I was making, and I've stopped tracking my P&L. I figured out what was happening. It was something called myopic loss aversion. So loss aversion is, when people feel the pain of, say, if I lose $100, I feel the pain of losing $100 twice as much as that of winning $100. And myopic is essentially nearsightedness. And so for traders, because they check their portfolio more often, they're compounding the effect of having short-term losses. And then that essentially creates a feedback loop where they expect the next result to be a loss. And so that is something that like all investors and traders do battle with, but it was something that I was struggling. So I cut that out, and it did work well at the start, but frankly, there are better ways around that where I'm still measuring my performance and being able to avoid the compounding emotional effect of taking, 3 or 4 losses in a row, or one big loss, or whatever it may be. So from me now, I'm going to be putting out a lot more content, and that is purely going to be trade reviews. It's purely going to be my thoughts rambling like this for 6 minutes straight, just so that it's a creative outlet and it does keep me spurring on into my output. So yeah, that's it for today.